NSC and start your journey to wealth creation and financial freedom. For more information, visit www.nsc.co.ke. The NSC. Discover opportunity.
This is KTN News.
We went there early to receive head of state, and we start. But unfortunately enough, in that year, in July, it is when Tom Mboya was gunned down in Nairobi. So people were bitter with Kenyatta.
I myself went to Jaramogi and told him, don't go to Kisumu. Because the president is going to Kisumu, don't go to Kisumu. There's going to be a problem. Because I got a hint that something is going to happen. I personally did it. And he said, oh, let me just go and see what's going to happen. Because I remember when the president started his trip to go to the Western Kenya, he started in Nakuru, then ended up in Kakamega. He had made some statements, and those statements, one of them was that the KPU at that time had sent people to China. And who was the guy sent to China? That was me.
Jaramogi went there as the one who went to Soviet Union and negotiate maneno ya hospitali. And he wanted to welcome Kenyatta to Nyanza. And Kenyatta came with another motive. One, to ban the party.
Luo Nyanza was still tense, and within a fraction of a second, all hell broke loose.
When he was reaching at the gate of the hospital, some other people whom were planted by some other people whom we don't know started to piga dume. Ingine nasema tunataka Mboya.
President Kenyatta had been accompanied by top government officials at this historic event, officials who witnessed in dismay as the ugly incident unfolded. Jaramogi had to be whisked upstairs while presidential security detail threw a tight cordon around President Kenyatta until the situation calmed.
We were sitting on the right, Kenyatta was sitting on the left. At that time, J.D. Otiende was the minister for health, I can remember. He stood, I cannot remember I cannot remember now the superintendent of the hospital at that time. I cannot remember. But I know Otiende spoke and asked Kenyatta to open the hospital. When Kenyatta stood and he took a microphone, it is when he attacked Jaramogi. It is Jaramogi also was answering him. When he shoot a question, Jaramogi answered that. And it is where he said, Jaramogi, if you are not my friend, my friend, I would have staggered you kama unga.
What followed was horror that still remains etched in many Kenyans' minds, particularly those from the Nyanza region.
He took the makasi Alikata hiyo ribbon, kaingia, naingia na mine hii, natoka na mine hii, natoka kwa gari yake. Kutoka kwa gari yake, the first victim was the only son of our friend Abdul Daya, who was a news vendor at that time. He was shot in the compound. From there on, another askari, administration police, who was saluting Kenyatta, was shot dead. Reaching Patel Flat, somebody was killed. Reaching at the market, 2 people. Reaching at Nyalenda. So he killed people up from there up to Awasi. When they reached Kericho, they went to Kericho Tea Hotel and they have a promptu cabinet meeting. It is where curfew was announced in Kisumu.
Mimi nikiwa kiongozi wa serikali hii ya Kenya, ninasema siwezi kukubali mtu au vikundi vya watu kuchezea serikali yetu katika ardhi yetu tuliyoipigania. Hapana.
For several days, Kisumu and its environs still trying to come to terms with Tom Mboya's murder was plunged into mourning again. A dark cloud hanging over the community had refused to move away. To some, the community was under siege, condemned to mourning.
People were killed. At that time when we were running everywhere, I think 11 bodies were seen at the scene, but I think there were more. That was Kisumu massacre.
Odungi, who was then KPU secretary, denies claims that the violence was premeditated, dismissing talks that Mzee Kenyatta was pelted with eggs.
No, nothing like that. Where did those people get the eggs?
That would mark President Kenyatta's last trip to Kisumu until his death in August 1979. Attempts by Jaramogi to mend fences with the president were scuttled.
The kitchen cabinet of Kenyatta refusing to meet Jaramogi. Jaramogi met Kenyatta when he was dead. It is when Jaramogi went to mourn his late friend at State House.
Unlike their fathers who had irreconcilable differences, at least the sons Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta can afford pleasantries. On every occasion, they bump into each other.
None of us is going anywhere. Those who win and those who lose, we must all, at the end of the day, join hands and work together for our country. And towards that end, I'm very happy and excited to have my brother, Raila, here with us on this day. Tukuja usalimia watu ndio
Asante sana ndugu yangu. I am very delighted that my brother has invited me, ambushed me in fact, as a friend and as a Kenyan. And I always refer to my brother here as my younger brother. Mama Ngina knows where we're coming from. We've been family friends for a long time. And I remember on that day when Mzee passed on, Jaramogi went to State House and he was carrying the fly whisk. He then went and invoked a very, very passionate dirge in Luo. Ewoi gimicha moimari gimodong kirkige. Choge joy. That is very deep. That was a statement of the friendship that had been a long time.
But things have changed a lot. These people can call one another and sit together. But Kenyatta, when Jaramogi wanted to meet him, he refused.